everybody, this is Jewelyn. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my home here in Santa Monica, California. Welcome to another Planting with Jewelyn. I am on a roll. It is super hot and sunny. We are in the middle of summer. It is in the 80s probably. I haven't checked the weather, and it's going to be hot for the rest of the week. And before I leave for Las Vegas in a couple of days, I have a bunch of Planting with Jewelyns. If you haven't watched yesterday's video, which was a video I just wrapped up, go ahead and check it out. It was dedicated to a bunch of plant friend babies as well as new purchase babies that were succulents or cacti. In today's video, which I just pretty much just switched to a different color apron, I have a bunch of Aeoniums that I recently purchased. And if you haven't watched my Aeonium collective video, go ahead and check it out. I hope that inspires you. And maybe if you've never seen Aeoniums, I hope this inspires you to maybe get into a different type of plant. I am a huge Aeonium fan, and if you watch my collective series, I've also had my plant friend Carrie share her collective, which is entirely different from mine. And that's the fun thing about plant life. There's so many plants that you can collect into your space. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and get started. If you're interested in the potting bench, everything is in my Amazon store. My affiliated link along with my mailing address, if you want to send me anything, is in my description box. And if you're interested in aprons, my grandma is going to be putting out new Planting with Jewelyn merchandise for 2020. I'm super excited, and it is in my favorite colors. So I'm sure if you watch the channel, you know what is my favorite color by now. I have a bunch of Aeoniums that are bare root because I did a lot of plant shopping to the point where the planters could not fit into the car. So I took everything bare root. It's very exciting to see these new interesting plant babies into my space. I also purchased one for my friend that just gave birth a few days ago, and I gifted her a beautiful Crested Aeonium sunburst variegata. And I'll go ahead and insert the picture now so you can see. It's nothing like I have in my collection. I actually wanted to keep it for myself, but I was meaning to gift it to her when I picked it up when I was plant shopping, so I didn't want to do that. But I would have definitely kept it in my collection because I know I won't be able to find that plant again. It's so different from anything I have, but I'm going to be thankful with what I have, and hopefully she's able to pass on that plant to her baby girl when she's older. And I like to do little things like that to inspire plant life from a very small age. So if you have purchased a plant baby for a baby gift, for a baby shower, or a newborn baby, sound off in the comments down below. That was the first time I've ever done that because my only friend that have kids is Stephanie in Hawaii, which she's been on the channel before. But other than that, none of my friends have kids. So it was definitely fun to give new congratulations plant for her baby girl. So I'm super excited to talk to her more about the plant. And hopefully that inspires you guys to give plants for special occasions. So without further ado, guys, I have a handful, and I'm gonna save the biggest one, which is on the ground here, for last. So let's go ahead and start planting. Sound up in the comments if you have Aeoniums in your collection. I know a bunch of you guys don't even have Aeoniums in your city that's up for sale, or have never seen one in person. I find them very interesting. To me, they're like little art pieces, and I love collecting them. They're weird, they're interesting, and I love the crested ones. What I do have to say about Aeoniums are that they're very fragile. They bruise easy, so there's a lot of bruising from being transported in the car, but hopefully they'll be able to perk back up again, and it'll start looking nice in a few months. Aeoniums are winter babies, but I feel like with the weather here in California, they just look great all year long, but they thrive during the winter. So I am going to figure out how I want this planted up. A lot of aerial roots. This is such an amazing species, like super cool plant. And I'm not too sure if I have this particular one, and I'm gonna have to do an updated Aeonium collective video at some point because the collection has now doubled in size. Most of my Aeoniums are gifted to me except my 3 crested babies, but now I purchased these all myself, so the collection just gets bigger by the months. It's super fun to see. And this needs to get established into the planter, so it might be a little bit top heavy. Let me see if I can get it down more. So fun. I definitely love the ones that I have already, but it's gonna be interesting to see these ones in the collection. I have a bunch in the front of my house. If you haven't watched my recent spring 2020 plant tour, there's a bunch of Aeoniums in the front of my house and a bunch in my patio, and I just love them. I don't have them in a particular style of planter. I do white, I do terracotta with the Aeoniums. They would do better in a terracotta, but the few that I have in ceramic white planters are okay. So this completes the first one, and these cylindrical planters that I'm using, I just got them. So if you haven't watched that planter haul, go ahead and check it out. So stunning. So I don't want to mess with it too much because it needs to get established in this planter. Oh, I love it already. Okay, I think the next one I want to do is this interesting crested Aeonium that looks like there's pom-poms in the planter. So there's 4 sections, and I'm interested to see how it's gonna look in this planter. Take a look at it. Like, how fun and interesting, guys. There's multi-faces, like, I don't know, it's super cool, like super cool. It did get a little beat up from getting transported, but once I plant it up today, I won't fuss with it, and hopefully the bruising will eventually just kind of, I don't know. Aeoniums, the way how the characteristics of Aeoniums, the bottom leaves are the ones that usually get dried up, and you're gonna have to go in and prune them. Aeoniums, they get brown on the bottom, and you just got to go in and start cleaning them, and eventually I think all the bruised parts are gonna end up drying out and browning. So it's one thing I definitely like to look at my Aeoniums, clean them up, and they start looking nice, fresh and clean. I will do that at some point because all of them need cleaning up, but I'll leave that for maybe a Planting with Jewelyn live when I'm back next week. That would be fun to see, which if anything that video will go up before this. So this is just a planter I probably got thrifted, and that's that, guys. Take a look at it. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I love it. Love Aeonium. Yay. I'm trying to think if I have this one in my collection. Maybe, maybe not. But the reason why, and I'll just propagate this one, the reason why I purchased it is because of just the characteristic of how it's growing. Like, take a look at it. Like, it's so weird. I had to have it. But I think I have a similar Aeonium in the front of my home, but it's okay because it doesn't look exactly like this. And that's the cool thing about Aeoniums. They grow wild, crazy, and leggy, and they are just living art pieces. I'm a huge fan. It's a very exciting Planting with Jewelyn, bringing new Aeoniums into this space. And we'll see when I go plant shopping again, just because I purchased so many plants in the past couple of days. There is one Ripsalis that I have on my mind that is at my neighborhood nursery that I've been looking at the past couple of months, but it's rare and super expensive. So I told myself after a few more plant sales, then I'll go ahead and get it to add to the Ripsalis collection. But other than that, I mean, I'm always up for like rare philodendrons and different rare houseplants, but I also love these types of babies too. And here we go. Take a look at that. Super cool, right? So they'll get a cleanup after the video. And then this little pup here that fell off, I'm just gonna stick it in the planter and it'll root up and it'll be part of the planter. Ooh, okay, it's getting super exciting. I want to fix this one up. This one is not crested. It's wild and crazy. I actually took from this mother plant to propagate and sell. So if you're interested in this particular Aeonium, I have a few different sizes growing in my greenhouse. I'm gonna put it in the low bowl because just of the way how it's growing, which I'm gonna try to get it styled in the best possible way of its weird quirkiness. I thought it would look better in a low bowl. So let's see. Let's see. There's one section here. It's just like, I think at some given point I'm gonna have to really go in and like prune off all these different sections. But for now, my main concern is just getting it planted up because it desperately needs a home and some fixing up. But for the purpose of today's video, it's just to get it settled in its new home, and I'll clean it up in the future. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Okay, we'll do this. I like how it's like spewing out on the sides, so we're not gonna plant that up in soil. The weather is super hot right now, so I think after this I'm gonna take a lunch break because I didn't eat anything yet, and then continue doing the next several videos which you will see on the channel, which is more planting videos. I know you guys have been requesting for the planting videos, so I'm glad that I was able to do this for the channel. I love bringing in new plant babies into the space often. If you watch my channel, you know I'm always bringing in new plants into the collection. They come and go, so it's always some turnaround happening. Okay, let's cover up these crazy roots. This one is growing crazy. I'm kind of interested to see what it's gonna look like in a year in this bowl, but I think the way how I'm deciding to plant it looks pretty good. So just figuring out what makes sense for the way how it's growing. It's so complicated. All right, do that. Okay, starting to take shape. Just the way how it was growing in the planter was like very unkept and crazy. So I definitely feel like this was the rescue and the purchases that I got for Aeoniums. But yeah, I have a few from this mother plant growing in the greenhouse. If you guys are interested, reach out to me. It's so interesting and fun, like very interesting and fun. Wow, kind of crazy, but I want it to grow like that. So it's kind of interested to see what it would look like after planting it up and kind of untangling it. And this is the results of it. Ideally, I would kind of want to clean up the center and like prune off the ugly branches and stick the nice parts back into soil. I might do that maybe in an upcoming live, so stay tuned. But there's definitely a lot of pruning that needs to take place, and I'll do that in a whole separate video. I just wanted to plant it up for today. So this is what it looks like, and yeah, I just love it a lot. So let it be, let it kind of establish itself in Santa Monica, because it was looking quite crazy. And now that I see it in the planter, wow, with that terracotta, it's just very gorgeous. Okay, are you guys like enjoying this planting with Jewelyn? Because I am. They're all weird and interesting to me. My little art pieces, living art pieces. This one I have to be very careful because there was a part that actually fell off from the plant, which I'll go ahead and stick it back into the planter. This one definitely needs a lot of cleaning up, but again, I'll save that for another video. That'll be interesting maybe to do a live just cleaning them up. And ooh, so pretty. Yay. Wow. Let's see. It's not established in this planter, so I'm gonna need to maybe have some support for it because I like the height of it right now. I wouldn't want to make it a little lower in the planter. You won't be able to see the bottom of the crescent part that's happening here. But I think I'm good. Wow. Huge fan, huge fan. Oh, wow, look at you. So imagine this all nicely cleaned up and groomed. I'm gonna turn it this way so you can see as well. Every part of the plant is super, super special and interesting, and I'm in love with this plant. So let's go ahead and move this to the side. Wow, super cool. Wow, I'm so inspired. This is so fun. Any babies, I'll just stick it back in the planter and it'll root up. Okay, are you guys ready to see the last crested baby for today, which is the biggest crested baby now I have in my collection? Let's bring it up. Here it is. There's a section of it right here that broke right there, so I'm going to have to propagate it and stick it in the planter. But take a look at it. Isn't it wild and crazy? So let's go ahead and put it in a square planter, and I'll fix up that torn part in a second, but I definitely want to get this into soil, and they definitely need a watering. When I purchased this was actually lying on its side, hidden and knocked over, and I don't know how long it's been lying on its side growing like that, but that really pulled on my plant heartstrings, and I had to purchase this. There was no doubt about it. This thing is, I hope I do justice by keeping this thing alive. And the Sensiberias and the Aeoniums would be the first things I get into the house when heavy rain comes my way again, because I would definitely not want to lose these plant babies from the rain. I'm gonna have to go in with my toothbrush to get all of the soil out from different parts of the plant baby, but main thing that I go ahead and put these into planters today, because they've been out for a couple of days looking sad, especially this plant baby for being on its side when I found him. Poor thing. And I think you're good to go. Let's put a little bit more. I don't want it tumbling down. Definitely gonna have to get established in this planter. It is top heavy. Don't want it to ruin the crested part of the bottom, a part of this beautiful piece, so might have to. I think that's it, guys. Do you believe it? Oh my god, on my end it's super, super gorgeous. So let's take the potting tray away and then give them some water, and that should help them get settled in. But wow, how do I move this plant baby without falling? It's making me nervous. Okay, this is stressing me out. Don't fall, plant baby, don't fall. Okay, let's move this potting tray and give them some nice water. Okay guys, I have them all here ganged up, looking like art pieces, and I absolutely love them. I'm gonna come around and give them some water, but they will get watered with the rest of the collection this evening, because the collection definitely does need some watering with the very hot sun that is going to be. So it's super sunny right now in Santa Monica, so the whole collection will get watered, and including these babies. But just for right now and for today's planting video, I'm sure they're in dying thirst. I'm sure they're super thirsty, because I don't know the last time they got watered, and this will help them kind of get settled into their new living quarters. Super gorgeous. Like I'm in love. I am in love. I think everybody got some water for now. Everybody's looking good. Everybody's happy. So for more planting with Jewelyn videos, my goal for these Aeoniums would to go in and clean them up, because as you see, I probably could spend an hour going in and cleaning up all of the dried leaves, but I didn't want to do that in today's video. I just wanted to set them up. That is going to be my next task for them, and they'll look like brand new again. So before I wrap up today's video, I want to do a plant friend shout out. Today's plant friend shout out is going to Cheryl, and she says here, great haul, so many new babies. I can't wait to see your next planting video. So yes, lots of new babies, and thank you guys so much for supporting me. Let me know if you have Aeoniums in your collection. As you can see, they are weird and interesting, and they do not look identical from one to the next. There will always be some kind of characteristic to them that makes them unique in its own way, and that's another reason why I love collecting them. My Aeonium collection is now big and thriving, and I'm here for it. So let me know in the comments down below if you have Aeoniums. Have you seen them in person before? Do you collect them? Do you find them to be rare in your part of the world? For me, here in California, you see them everywhere, especially in landscapes, in people's yards and businesses. They're very landscapeable plants. They do well in ground, but if you watch the channel, you know I have everything in planters, and they do well in planters, so it works out for me. These will get dispersed. I'm thinking some of them in the outside of my home, some of them in my patio, and I'm thinking this particular one I'm going to take to my Las Vegas collection, because I like to bring in new plants every now and then that are hardier, that don't need a lot of attention, so that when I'm there every month I have something to look at and not just a bare room with no plants. That would be really sad. So this one is probably gonna go with me to Las Vegas. The rest is gonna stay here. I'm super excited to introduce these into the collection. So I hope you found this inspiring. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Subscribe for daily uploads between the main channel Monday to Thursday and the vlog channel Friday through Sunday. You get a video each and every day. I feel like the Aeoniums are taking up most of the space here. I feel like I'm drowning in Aeoniums, and I'm here for it. I love Aeoniums, so I hope you found this inspiring. Hope you enjoyed another Planting with Jewelyn in my space. Stay tuned. I'm going to take a quick lunch break, and then I'm going to do more Planting with Jewelyn, which you'll see in the upcoming days. And I hope you enjoyed another Planting with Jewelyn episode for my very fun series on my channel. Until next time, aloha from Santa Monica, California. Bye!